We're going to talk about grip. So on the next run, you can apply both vision focus and grip, better grip. But grip's job, there's two things. Number one, grip has to set your index, of course. If the gun is sitting crooked in your hand, of course, the red dot is gone. So you must find that good pointing ability. And number two, the grip must not break. That's it. If the grip doesn't break, there's no grip issue. If your gun still flips a lot, but the grip is staying the same, it's not a grip issue. Like if the gun did this, it's a wrist issue. But the grip did this, it's a grip issue. How much grip matters? I'm going to demonstrate. As long as the grip can point, so index is good, and it doesn't break, it doesn't matter that much. The exact technique doesn't matter that much. It matters, yes, maybe 10% to 20%, which is not small if you actually think about it. It's still a big portion of it. So I'm going to demonstrate with a very good grip that you might never try this way, but I'm going to see halfway down. I'm going to nicely teacup on the bottom, like a Hollywood movie. And I see the red dot, I'm going to shoot it. Okay, I see the red dot now. I'm going to start shooting. Now, if you look at the group size, how bad is this? I was shooting pretty much as fast as I can pull the trigger at the later one. Make sense? So even at the high speed, pop up, pop up. Not bad. So should you shoot like that? No, I'm just trying to make a point. If the grip points the red dot, so good index, and it doesn't break in the process, it's going to point the same way. Consistency is more important than actual technique is what I'm trying to make a point. But vision focus, if you have a good vision focus, how's the shooting, right? Good vision focus, small spot, molecule size spot. How's the shooting? Hey, exactly there, exactly there, exactly there. The shots go very close or on the vision focus spot. However, of course, this is not how you should be shooting. Like I said, if you have poor grip, like a teacup, versus good grip, 10 to 20% makes a difference, which is, in IPSC, 10 to 20% is actually a lot. But the point is, if you have good vision focus and poor grip, 80% is done. You have a perfect grip, but poor vision focus, you're 20% done. That make sense? Now, for grip, again, I said number one, it has to point well. Generically saying, depends on the grip angle, whatever. You have to figure that out. Generally, how I tell people is just point your index finger to a spot and then open the fingers up and place the gun and then close it. Because we all can do, everybody can do this. Point your index finger, point the television or whatever, right? You just open the fingers up without changing the angle and then close it up. Left hand is the same way, finger and then close it up. That's generic, good start. Of course, grip angle and things like that, you have to do some change to fit it. But the grip technique in terms of not letting it break, right? That is more difficult thing to do usually. But if you study physics, there's one way you can do without no friction. That's why I told, hey, nobody use chalk. No, nothing. The worse is better. My hands are always sweating, so I have to shoot with a grip that doesn't break with the sweat or rain. I live in the rainy state. So there's two rules you have to respect by physics rule. Number one, you have to put pressure on the right spot. The gun goes up and down like this. If you have your support hand on the side of your hand, like over here, if I move, there's no friction, it breaks. But if I have one finger on the top surface, near the top, it never breaks. Because when the movement happens, if you put on the top surface, it never breaks. So I usually tell people, if you're a four-finger guy, the top finger, try to hook slightly on the top surface of your bone. Not the side of your bone, but the top surface. It doesn't matter how deep. It can be very deep or slightly shallow. As long as it's on the top surface of your bone, it'll not break. So generally, my hand is going about here. and it goes up and down, never breaks. But if I put on the side, breaks right away.
I got a question. You know, sometimes we learn that your hands are start to shake. Yeah.
You don't have to grip the hardest possible, because everybody has different grip strength. What's the rule? Number 2 of grip. The grip doesn't break. That's good. How hard is that for you? It's different for everybody. So most male adults don't have to grip the hardest. If you grip the hardest first, yes, you can have pain, and it's unnecessary work. You want to work the minimum or the only necessary amount, of course. My grip pressure is not that hard, and I don't have any shake. So again, rule number 1, one finger on the top surface so it doesn't break when the gun goes up and down. And number 2, you have to have a lot of pressure under the trigger guard. What I mean is, when the gun goes up and down, we have to support when the gun goes back down. When the slide shuts, boom, it comes forward and downward. You have to support that motion so your gun is not wobbling crazy, and then when you shoot 20 splits, your shots go low or high because it's wobbling. So you must support your gun. Generally, 4-finger guys, you use under the trigger guard. Even if it's 1 plus 3, the 3 plus 1 finger, the Eric Raffel style, even then you should use the middle knuckle under the trigger guard to support. So you have to have a lot of pressure under the trigger guard. So for me, a lot of the work happens with the top 4-finger, the index finger. So on the very edge, I have a callus right there. It goes on the top surface. And then if there's a trigger guard in the middle knuckle, simply I do this motion to put pressure under the trigger guard. Look, my finger is pressing up and down under the edge like this. So if there's a trigger guard, it actually puts pressure against the trigger guard. Some people said, hey, I can put the pressure trigger guard like this, right? No, never do that. If you try to do this and there's no friction, your palm's gonna go boop, 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 boop each shot. Because you're trying to put the pressure with the wrist. No, both palms should close together without trying to slide forward or slide sideways, any of the motion, or slide downward. Wrists and the palms lock in place. No direction pressure. Otherwise, they slip. So again, top surface and under the trigger guard, put the pressure by trying to lift up the finger, not the whole hand. Make sense? So what we're gonna do is everybody's gonna line up and I'm gonna grip the left side. So when I say make ready, just like before, just aim at the target, empty gun. But when I say take up your hand, you take up the left hand. And I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna grab the gun with my left hand so you can feel the pressure points and the directions. Make sense? All right, everybody line up.